In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I optimize my PPC campaigns step by step. I'm gonna jump into the account, screen share, you're gonna see everything and how I do it. And I've personally optimized thousands of accounts in the last 5 years working on Amazon PPC. I'm gonna share everything and I'm sure that you guys are gonna love it. So let's jump right in.
Alrighty guys, so we're in Seller Central, and first thing I'm gonna do is click here, go to Advertising Campaign Manager. Obviously that's where I'm gonna be doing all of the PPC optimizations. Now you're going to see some tabs here: single country, multiple countries, budgets, product targeting, all that good stuff. I'm gonna walk through a lot of that stuff, but mainly before I cover any of this, I wanna talk about what are the goals that I have. I have two main goals. I'm either scaling or I'm optimizing. I don't wanna be doing both. I'm gonna show you how to do both, but if you're just scaling, you wanna focus on one sort of action. I'm either increasing bids, increasing budgets, increasing bid by placements, launching new campaigns, or different types of campaigns. And if I'm optimizing for profit, I'm lowering bids, adding negatives, maybe pausing targets, lowering bid by placements, and maybe turning off some ad types that didn't work. So I'm gonna walk through every single one. So let's start with budgets. Budgets is pretty easy. When you're in single country, you can see all of the campaigns. So let's say I wanna optimize. There's one way that I would optimize budgets. I would only increase them. I wouldn't decrease them. When you're trying to decrease spend on a campaign, so let's go find a campaign that's doing bad in terms of ACOS. So let's go here. So you'll see here I have some campaigns that have a pretty bad ACOS. So instead of going here and saying, okay, I'm gonna lower the budget even more, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically only lower the bids. So I'm not gonna lower the budget. So I see this campaign, 161% ACOS, 25 daily, but I'm not gonna go to a 10 daily budget. This is, honestly, it shouldn't even be 25. 25 is too low. It should be at least 100. You know, it's probably a mistake, but I'm just gonna lower the bids. So let's start with budgets, right? In terms of campaigns, when do I wanna increase budgets? Obviously when the performance is good. So look at all these campaigns. 9%, 18%, 22%, 23%. So for me, these are really good performing campaigns. So I want to scale the budgets on these campaigns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create here a filter. So I'm going to say, okay, filter ACOS. You could do this ACOS, you could do this ROAS, whatever number you like to work with. I'm going to say if the ACOS is less than 30%, show me that campaign. And here you go. So there's 2, 4, 5 campaigns that are 30% ACOS or less. Some of them, they don't have anything. So what I'm gonna do is also add another filter. I'm gonna do sales greater than $1. So I wanted to actually have made sales. So now it looks like I have 4 campaigns only. So these 4 campaigns, I can select these and I can do a bulk action on them. So you can either go manually in here, right, where it has the budget, 50, 50, 80, 80. You can manually change the budget, or you can do a bulk action on all of these. I can adjust the budget and I can increase the budget by, let's say, a dollar amount of $100. Now the way that I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna do it systematically. So if I was at 50, I'll probably go to 100, then 150, then 200. You wanna do it gradually. In terms of what range of date am I looking at, you want to do this probably once a week. So once a week, you're gonna go look at the previous week data. And so skip 2 days. So today, by the way guys, today is February 6th. So I'm gonna skip February 5th and 4th. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 28th to the 3rd, and I'm gonna base my information off of this. If the performance was good in that last week, then today I'm gonna update the budget. Then on the 13th, I'm gonna do the same thing, but it's not gonna be for the 12th to the 11th, it's gonna be 4th to the 10th. That's a full week. So that's how I'm doing it. I'm skipping 2 days. The reason I'm skipping 2 days is because of the lack of attribution. You probably have bad attribution or like a delay in attribution. So basically what I'm saying is in these 2 days, people would have made sales, but you wouldn't know because Amazon didn't register it in the campaign manager yet. And so you could be optimizing in the wrong direction, thinking that, oh, this is not performing well, but it's actually performing well. So that's what I would do in terms of dates. And you know, I would add those filters. Pretty easy to add the filters and then take bulk action, optimize the budgets. So that covers the budget optimization portion. So next, I'm gonna go into bid optimization. That's the one that everyone talks about. And the best place to do that after the bulk sheet is gonna be very complicated. I don't wanna show you guys the bulk sheet. It's probably gonna intimidate you. So the best place to do that is in the targeting tab. All right guys, so I'm in the targeting tab now, and you'll see this is every single keyword that I am targeting. This is every single keyword that's in any campaign. You'll notice, you know, there's the keyword here, there is the status, is it active or archived? What type is it? Is it exact, broad phrase? What's the campaign name? What's the status of the campaign? What's the ad group? the ad group name, and then all the metrics, ROAS, conversions, bids, and then the performance. So the first thing you want to do is add a filter, and the target active status is enabled. So this will only show us keywords that we're actually going after. So now it's only showing me keywords that are actually live, they're actually spending money. A lot of those might not be spending money, but they're open, they're running, they should be spending money. So that's the kind of the first filter. And again, the next filter is going to depend on what is my goal. Am I scaling or am I optimizing? So let's start by scaling. The actions that I want to take for scaling is I want to find keywords that were profitable, that performed well, so they had really good performance, and spend a little bit more money on them. So the first filter is going to be an ACOS or a ROAS filter. So I can say ACOS, again, less than, for example, 30%. Show me the keywords that have less than 30% ACOS. And you see here I have 6 keywords. I can also add more conditions. So I can say I wanted to have less than 30% ACOS and 2 sales or more. Maybe 1 sale was a fluke, so I want to do 2 sales or more. So I can also add a second filter, and when it says orders, I'm going to say orders is greater than 1, which means 2 sales or more. So now it's showing me I have 3 keywords that have more than 1 order, so 2 orders or more, and then the ACOS is less than 30. And again, very, very quickly, I can select those keywords. I can either manually adjust the bid. So you'll see here, you have the bid. I also want to see the cost per click. So in columns, I'm going to customize the columns, and I'm going to show, okay, I want to see the cost per click. I want to see the click-through rate. I want to see ACOS. I want to see everything. So now that I set those filters, you can see the cost per click is $1.94 and the bid is $3.42. So my bid is a lot higher than the actual cost per click. So maybe increasing the bid might not have that much of an effect. Electrolyte packets, right now my cost per click is $5, but my bid is $2.52. So this one generated $15 in spend, $59 in sales, so not too bad. So what I could do here is I could take this keyword specifically and increase the bid by 10 cents, so to make it $2.62. When I do like to increase bids or adjust bids, and I take the bulk action, I'm gonna do adjust the bid. I can increase here the bid. I don't like to use percentages. I'm worried about percentages because a $5 bid or a $3 bid, if I increase it by 10%, that's already 30 cents. So I don't like those big jumps. So what I would do is increase the bid by, for example, 0.1. And this is, I usually like to stay between 0.05, 0.1, not more than 0.2. 0.2 for me would be pushing it. That's kind of like big jumps. I would rather optimize the bids multiple times a week with small increments, just in case I can get closer and closer to the desired result without overshooting or anything like that. So that's how I would do this. And now let's talk about the other scenario, right? Which is optimizing for profit. So same thing, I'm gonna add some filters. And in this case, I'm looking for 2 types of situations. Number 1, keywords that are spending money and not making sales, or number 2, keywords with a very high ACOS. So let's say if the ACOS here is greater than 80%, that's what I wanna start optimizing. And in this case, you'll see we have a bunch of keywords, 12 keywords that have an ACOS of 80% or more. By the way, this is a product that is currently in the launch mode, right? So I'm gonna go into all these keywords and I'll say, do I wanna lower the bids? A lot of these, one order, maybe I would do that. But if it has like 6 orders, 13 orders, 27 orders, I might not optimize the bids because it seems like they're generating a lot of sales. So even if the ACOS is kind of high, it could be generating also organic sales. So I just want to be very conscious of that. So that's why, when it comes to, especially in the launch phase, I'm expecting that a lot of my keywords will have a high ACOS, but this one is, 200, this one is 660%. So I basically spend $195 and I got 1 sale from it. So, and I also like to look at the click-through rate. If the click-through rate is very low, it means that people are not interested. So this 486, I might bring it down to 450, for example. And again, the same way when I'm doing the bulk actions, I'm gonna select everything, click on bulk actions, adjust the bid, and I'm gonna lower the bid by a certain amount. So let's say decrease the bid by, and I'll decrease it by 0.1, or not more than 0.1, 0.2. 0.2 again is really big. So 0.1, and I'd rather do this a few times a week just to make sure that I'm getting closer and closer to my desired results versus taking a keyword that's making sales, completely killing it, and now I'm just spending money and not making sales. Now, the other situation, right? The first situation is this keyword has a high ACOS. And the second situation is this keyword is spending money and not making sales. So filters, I'm gonna go to spend greater than, let's say $10, and orders equals 0. So made no orders, it spent more than $10. Actually, I want to change this, right? Instead of $10, I'm going to make it $15. I usually like to do 50% of my product price or more, but in the case of this, since it's a fresh launch, I'm going to do $20. So 67% of my product price. So basically, if it spends $21 and makes a sale, the ACOS would be about 68%. So 68%, pretty high ACOS right off the gate. So anything that's spending more than $20 with no sales, show me those keywords. Now there's 7 of them. MMA Nutrition, that's my brand name, and then electrolyte packets, packets no sweetener, keto electrolytes, and so on. This is hard work, again, my brand name. So these are all keywords that spent money. Now you might be wondering, I'm not gonna turn off this brand name because it's your brand name. That's fine, but just realize that my brand name is probably popping up in a lot of other campaigns. So just because I paused this one, MMA Nutrition or Hard Work Electrolytes, doesn't mean that I'm no longer going to be showing for my brand name, because I probably have my brand name in broad, phrase, and exact, and this could be the exact type in this new branded keyword, versus it could be in the broad campaign for branded keywords, it could be still showing up. So I just don't know why it's spending a lot of money and not making sales. But in all cases, I just don't want it to keep bleeding, right? This one spent $20, $21, and then this one spent $116 with a 0.04% click-through rate and no sales. So why would I keep this on? I'll probably turn this off. It's not doing it. It's just spending a lot of money for no reason. In that case, when I'm looking at targets and I'm looking to optimize them and lowering the bids, another thing I'm looking at is click-through rate. So when I see a very high click-through rate, I kind of say, okay, this is okay. I mean, it could be that they're converting on the organic side, right? Or it could be that they're clicking on the listing, but then clicking on my other listings and converting there. But when I see very low click-through rates, it just basically means people are not that interested. So this one, electrolyte packets, it seems like people are not that interested. Again, this is a very competitive keyword. Electrolyte packets is a very, very competitive keyword. So I might be thinking about optimizing, I might not be thinking about optimizing, but at the end of the day, this is an iteration game. So I want to lower the bids a little bit and see what happens. So what I want to do is select all of these targets, click on bulk actions, adjust the bid, and then decrease the bid by dollar amount 0.1. And then I'll revisit that again later to see what happens. And essentially, that's how I'm doing bid optimization. That's how I'm optimizing bids. That's how I'm increasing bids and lowering bids. The next one I'm gonna go to is bid by placement. To do that, I'm first gonna go into single country, back into campaigns. There is an easy way and a hard way to do this. The easy way is to go through the bulk sheets, all right? But obviously the bulk sheets are very complicated and you'll need to understand it. I'm gonna put it out in another video, so it's very easy for everyone to understand. But for now, what we can do is we can very quickly go into the campaigns one by one and look at the bid by placement. So I'm just opening up a few here just to kind of explain it for you. So I'm in the campaign. Next, I'm going to click on placements. Now we're looking at the bid by placement. There's 3 different placements: top of search, first page, rest of search, and product pages. Top of search, first page basically means I'm showing up in the top of the search in the first page. Product pages is I'm showing up inside of the product page, like a product targeting ad. And then rest of search is anywhere in the rest of the search. Now, I don't really understand why I would do a bid adjustment to show up anywhere in the rest of the search, but let's look at top of search, first page. I'm going to look at the performance of my ads. When I show up in the top of the search, first page, I have a click-through rate of 12.9%, significantly better than rest of the search and product pages. Also, I have a much higher ROAS than rest of the search and product pages. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you know what, let me do a 50% bid adjustment. What that means is if I have $1 bid, I'm willing to spend up to $1.50 if and only if you're going to show me in the top of search first page. But I'm not going to spend $1.50 if I'm going to show up in the rest of the search. That would just be increasing my bids, right? But because I've already found success with the top of search first page, then based on this data, then I'm willing to spend more to show up more there. Now, see with product pages here, I have a ton of impressions. Let's look at the click-through rate, 0.05, pretty low click-through rate. ROAS is okay. So in this case, if the ROAS was bad, I'm not gonna do it here because the ROAS is decent, but if the ROAS was bad, like a 1x ROAS or something, I would lower this number. So this is kind of going both directions. When I'm scaling for more revenue, I'm increasing. When I'm optimizing for profit, I'm decreasing. So in this case, we showed you how to scale up here, optimizing for profit. Is this a good number? 2.56 ROAS for me as a supplement brand? Yes, it is. For you, if this is pretty low, all you have to do is just go in here and drop it to 50% and so on. And I would drop it gradually and I would increase it gradually. So always do it gradually. Let's look at the next one. This is auto campaigns. So again, going to the placement tab, here's the 3 placements. Let's look at the performance. Top of search, first page. Click-through rate is high, but no sales. ROAS is pretty low in the other ones. I'm getting a lot of my impressions from product pages, which makes sense because it's substitutes. So in this case, I honestly wouldn't do anything in this. I would just remove this 10% because in rest of search, I'm not converting that well. So why am I even spending more money here? So hopefully guys, this gives you an easy explanation of what to do for top of search, rest of search, and product pages, bid by placement adjustment. It's very easy to do it one by one into every campaign. If you start understanding how to use the bulk sheets, it's 10 times faster, trust me. And when it comes to date ranges, again, it's always the same rule of thumb. Look at the last 7 days. You can always do shorter periods, longer periods, but I like to look at the last 7 days usually for bid by placement, just so I can have some decent data. All right, next, I'm gonna go into search term report. So this is where we're going to be either adding negatives or finding keywords to launch more campaigns. So we're kind of at the final piece, right? We figured out budget optimization, increasing the budgets. We never decrease the budgets, we only lower the bids. Then we figured out bid adjustments. So increasing bids, decreasing bids on the targets that we're actually targeting. Then we looked at bid by placements. So increasing and decreasing different placements, whether it's top of search or product page. And now the final piece of the puzzle, which is the search term report, launching new campaigns, identifying profitable search terms to launch new campaigns, or identifying non-profitable search terms and adding them as negatives. So to do that, we want to go to measurement and reporting right here, go into sponsored ads reports. And then from here, I'm going to create a report, sponsor product, search term report, summary, you can do the last 30 days. For me, I'm not gonna pick the last 30 days. I'm gonna pick just the last week, and I am going to run the report. I'm gonna wait until it loads, refresh a couple times. Now that it's refreshed, I'm gonna download it. Alrighty, so it's loaded up here. I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger so it's easier for you guys to see. Now, highlight everything, sort and filter, add a filter. Now, what am I looking for here? Again, very, very easily, when I'm trying to scale, I'm looking for profitable search terms. First thing I want to do is exclude certain match types. So I'm going to exclude exact, because if it's an exact keyword, it means that it doesn't have any other keywords for us to discover, right? Or negative or anything. I can just lower the bids or increase the bids if it's working. This dash is for product targeting and auto. So unfortunately, I'm not going to uncheck it because campaigns have a lot of keywords in them. I'm just gonna be conscious of when the match type is a dash, it's a product targeting campaign. Now from here, again, let's start with identifying profitable search terms to launch. So now that we have all of these campaigns, the first thing I like to do is select a certain product to go after. So instead of having all of my products, I'm just gonna select HFB, right? Which is my hard work fruit blast product. I want to select that one. That's the one I want to focus on. So I'm going to focus on this one right now. And next, I'm going to try and find keywords that have really good performance. So I'm going to sort by ROAS descending. This basically tells me the highest to lowest performing keywords. Now, let's say for me, anything above a 6x ROAS is really good performance. All I have to do is highlight all of this. And I'm going to highlight it in a light green. That means this is a good keyword for me. And I want to launch it. So now I have these products, these keywords. So all of these keywords are keywords that for me converted well. I can look at the number of sales that they generated. All of them generated only one sale. So some people might be like, this might be a fluke. For me, it's okay. It's not a problem. I'm just trying to identify these keywords. The next step though is I need to deduplicate them, which basically means I need to take these search terms and compare them to search terms that I'm already targeting in bulk sheets, right? And so I have a tool on that I can share with you guys. I'm gonna put the link in the description to the toolbox. You'll have access to all the tools. Just go look at the deduplication tool. But basically, I'm looking to take these keywords and launch them in their own campaigns. And I would usually start with a cost per click, a bid equal to the cost per click. So If we converted at $1.94 here, I would, start at $1.94 when I'm targeting it. Now, some people might be like, if I keep the same cost per click as the bids here in the search term that we discovered, will it not compete? The answer is no, because this one probably showed up, every now and then here and there. The other one is going to show up a lot more consistently. So they will not compete. You're just going to get visibility on the keyword that has more budget throughout the day. And now the final piece is, let's go after keywords that want to add for negatives, keywords that don't perform well. So I'm going to go here into spend. I'm going to set the spend again greater than $20. That's what we had last time. Perfect. So there's only one keyword that spent more than $20 in the last 7 days and it had no sales. So this makes it pretty easy. I'm just going to go and I'm going to find this. So it's an auto substitutes. I'm going to find this ASIN, copy it, go back into Amazon, go into the campaigns. I'm going to find that campaign, auto substitutes. So I'm looking for auto substitutes. Let's remove those filters. All right, so I found that campaign, auto substitutes. I'm going to open it into a new tab. And now I'm going to go to negative targeting. So I'm going to add a negative product and I'm going to click enter list, enter my ASIN, click exclude, done. So I basically spent $20 on this product with no sales. So I'm going to add it as a negative product target. And now I'm no longer going to be spending money on that product or that, product targeting, or if it was a keyword, on that keyword anymore. And it's going to clean up my ads performance, is going to make it perform better. So,
all right, guys. So if you enjoyed this video and you like my optimization, I highly recommend you check out this video that I recorded. It has my 3 top Amazon PPC strategies. I'm sure you're going to love. And also, if you need any help from my team, free help, you don't have to pay for anything. If you want like an audit, a consultation, whatever, I'm going to put the link in the description. Hit us up. We're always happy to help people. All right, guys, see you in the next video.